In this video, I'm going to show you everything that you need to know about the advanced termite monitoring system. Before we begin though, I want to mention one thing. These are advertised as a termite bait system, or this would be a bait station. However, to distinguish within Penguin Pest Control, internally, let's refer to these as monitoring stations as opposed to bait stations. And the reason is it just helps to distinguish between rat or mice bait stations and a termite monitoring station, this thing. So if somebody tells you, hey, take a monitoring system, you'll know or a monitoring station, you'll know they're talking about this as opposed to like a protect a rat station. And if somebody says take a bait station, or if a notes on your account, if it says bring bait stations, they'll know you're talking about a protect a mouse or rat bait station as opposed to termite bait station. So termite monitoring station and a termite monitoring system. That's in the notes, like top notes and job notes. We refer to these as monitoring stations. With that said, this is really simple. So this station, monitoring station, just goes down in the ground. You place them about every 10 to 15 feet apart. The max distance that you can go is 15 feet, so you can't exceed that. And you don't want to go closer than 10 feet. It's pretty simple. This goes flush with the ground, and then this is covered up, and it's got two components down in here. It's got a wood, just a solid wood block, and then a cartridge. I'll show you both of those. So this is the cartridge. It goes on top, and then this is the wood. Two blocks that just go together. It's really simple. Basically what it does, mic up a little closer. Basically what this is just cut nice little grooves in it, so it creates a perfect little home for termites, so they can go in, make their mud tubes around it, and start to eat and digest the cellulose which is in the wood. Ideal food for termites. Now this never moves, so once you put this down in here, it's just going to stay there. You're not going to take it out if you get a hit. There's two kinds of cartridges. There's the active and the non-active. The non-active, which I have here, it says for monitoring only, contains no active ingredient. So you know that this is, there's no pesticide, no termiticide in there. All this is just pure cellulose. Pure cellulose, so it's just perfect food for termites. This goes on top, and then with the spider key, you can put the black lid back on and pull the spider key off. And then it'll just stay there. Now, you monitor them every couple months. You check them every month or every 3 months. Typically, if it's a regular recurring service where they have general pest control, we just check these when we go out to do the regular service for general pest control, whenever that is. So if it's monthly, we check these monthly. If it's quarterly, then we would check these quarterly. But when you open it, you just take the spider key, twist the cap, and then pull it off, and then the key just stays on that spider key, or the cap stays on that spider key. And then you use an awl that has kind of a little hook on it, and you just pull that out. It's really simple. Just take an awl with a little point and just bend the end, and then you can use that to just pull that cartridge out. And you can either pull it out or you can just look at it. A lot of times just by looking at it you can tell if there's termites in there. If you look down and it's totally clean, then you're golden. Well, a lot of times what will happen in the ground though is these will get they'll turn black because you get mold and other organic compounds down in there that are starting to, microorganisms like mold and bacteria and things like that start to grow on it. And that's fine. It's not going to hurt. It's not going to affect it. If it has mold on it, it's not a deterrent for the termites. They don't care about that. They'll eat it if they find it. And as termites forage, when they find it, they go back and tell all their other friends, hey, there's a great food source here. They all come, they start eating on it, and that's a hit. If there are termites on it, when you pull it out and look at it, and even when you just pop it off, you can usually tell there'll be mud tubes down in there. And if you take it out and then break one of those mud tubes, you'll see white worker termites in there. And if you see that, then you know you've got a hit. It's really simple. I mean, when you get a hit, you'll be like, yeah, that's definitely a hit. Sometimes I have guys call me and they're like, I'm not sure if I got a hit. There's this, there's some dirt in there. It's probably not a hit because it's pretty obvious when you do get a hit. I mean, you can tell there's mud tubes. You break it, you see the white live worker termites in there. Now, if you get a hit, basically all you have to do is just take the monitoring one out and replace it with an active cartridge. And the active cartridge will say it's an active cartridge, and it will have an EPA registration number, and it will also have the name of the active ingredient that's in there, just like a regular label. And it will not say for monitoring only on it. So there's only two kinds of cartridges. This one that says monitoring only, and the other one. Just replace it with the other one. Make sure you put an active one in there. Now, one thing is when you get a hit, it usually if you've got a system, you've got maybe 20 stations set up around a hit. Usually if you do, 20 stations set up around the house. If you get a hit, typically you only get a hit on 1 or 2 or at most 3 monitoring stations. And that's fine. If you get a hit on one single station and you replace one station with an active cartridge, one of these has enough termiticide in it to destroy an entire colony. So you only need to get a hit on 1. But if you get a hit on 2, replace it with 2. Basically, anywhere you get a hit, you replace that one with an active bait station. Then obviously you'd note that in Gorilla Desk that you applied an active, you'd put the name of the product on your invoice so we could see that there was a hit on there. Otherwise, you don't put anything. There's no product used if you're just monitoring it. So you get a hit, you take this one out, put the active one in, take the key, put it back on, and that's it. That's all you do. It's pretty straightforward. They're pretty simple. They work really well. They work for curative. They work better for monitoring and preventative, but they will work for curative if you've got a termite treatment and for whatever reason we can't use a liquid termite Termidor treatment. You can use these, and these are labeled for curative termite treatments. One caveat with that: if you use this for curative, it's going to take a little while because the termites have to forage, they have to find it. That may take 3 or 4 months, and then you have to find it and then replace it. The whole process could take 6 to 12 months. If you do a Termidor liquid treatment, they're gone, like right now. As soon as we do the treatment, colony's gone. And so our general policy is if there's active termites, we typically do liquid treatments, but sometimes you can't. And if you can't do a termite treatment for whatever reason, then these are a viable alternative to use. They're also really great for monitoring if somebody is in an area where they know they've got termites, like Tiara Rado Golf Course in Grand Junction. They have a lot of termites there. These are definitely a viable option. If there's a wood-to-ground contact, then you may want to recommend to the customer that they should install one of these systems. For pricing, you can check out our. We have follow the pricing guide. But in this video, I just wanted to show you how to use the the monitoring system, how to check them, what to look for, and that's it. Thanks.